You work yourself literally to death. What are you going to wish for in your next life? How about an easygoing life that you're immortal, so time is never an issue? Hello everybody, and welcome to my review of volume number 1 of Kisetsu Morita's light novel series I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. This one is released by Yen On. If you want to pick up your own copy, I do have links to Amazon as well as the book depository in the description down below. This one is got 5 copies released so far in Japan. It's an ongoing series. The 5th volume was just released in January of 2018. It's an isekai fantasy series that is told in the first person from the point of view of main character Asa. Now, Asa was a 27-year-old woman working in modern-day Japan, really as a corporate slave. She didn't eat good food, didn't sleep regular hours, pretty much did nothing for her life except to grind away at the corporate world. And at 27, she died because, she literally worked herself to death. The spirits in the other world took pity on her. They were like, yeah, that sucks. That's a lousy way to go. You know, it's lousy that your dedication actually proved to be your end. So what can we do for you? What can we make, how can we make things better in your next life? And Asa was like, you know what? I want to be immortal. That's what I want. I want to be immortal because then time really means nothing. I can take my time. Deity's like, all right. Well, and just to sweeten the pot, we'll put you into like about a 17-year-old's body because then, you're immortal at a cute, young and healthy age and strong age. All right. So Asa gets put into this new world as the rather cute 17-year-old witch that you see on the front cover. And she finds a nice quiet little house up in the highlands near this quaint little village. And she proceeds over the next 300 years to have a nice chilled life. Basically, there's lots of slimes in the forest that are between her house and the village, so she regularly kills them. They drop little magical stones that she can turn in at the Adventurers Guild for some money. Because she's been born as a witch, she has knowledge about herbs and stuff like that, so she can make like potions and everything else. And so over the 300 years, she's killed a lot of slimes and also been sort of a positive figure in the village, creating things to heal them when they're sick and maintain their health. And so we come to the day that this book really begins, and Asa kind of realizes, well, she doesn't realize, the latest girl at the guild, because of course it's 300 years, she's known a number of them, the latest girl at the guild finally manages to convince Asa to check her level. And when she does, it turns out she's maxed. Level 99, with all sorts of crazy honking powers. Yep. Now, Asa, you have to figure, she doesn't really want anything to do with that. She's like, I came to this world to live a nice chill life, man. I've already worked myself to death before. I don't want to do this. So, she returns home, but unfortunately, information about her abilities and about her level leak. And so we have a number of people who show up on her doorstep to try and either get her to train them or to prove her strength to them and so forth. Now, this book is really like I gave it 5 stars in Goodreads, and I had a lot of people kind of like commenting like, wow, you don't give that many 5 stars, and oh, this must be an amazing book. And I was kind of like, that was a really emotional 5-star review because I wouldn't say that, like, the writing is nice. I mean, it's cute, it's sweet. The story is very much like a slice of life, okay? Basically, the story in this first volume is this person who has lived all of her life alone, while her second life alone, kind of just taking things at her pace, sort of coming to realize that you can still have a bit of a family and friends and everything else and still maintain an enjoyable and fulfilling life. In fact, maybe it's even more fulfilling than when you were just doing your own thing. And, the 5-star review is because this is like a warm blanket of a light novel. It is just, I don't know, man. I read this book and I was like, I feel so cozy. And maybe it's because I was starting to get sick when I was reading this, but like it just made me feel so peaceful and just so relaxed. And I was like, this is something I really needed right now. I just needed a light novel that just felt so nice and presented characters in such a positive light. And it wasn't filled with nastiness or horrifying things. And, yes, okay, some of the conflict that comes up is maybe a little too quickly swept under the rug. And yes, we can also, state that it just seems like certain grudges are way too quickly let go of. It's not the point. It's not the point of this book. This book is about the warmth. This book is about finding that comfort level in your life where you're doing enough work that you're doing something useful, but not so much work that it takes away from everything else, takes away from spending time with family and friends. And I think it's such a nice message. And, you read like the afterword of the author, and that really that's his intention, is that, it's trying to talk about that whole work, life, family mix, which I think is very pressing in our current society. And this is an example of something that, we've talked a little bit about it in the top 10 light novels in Japan, because it's a little bit of a trend that I have seen and that I've commented on. And that is that the commentary in light novels on, people who are working themselves so hard, like literally in like this one, to death, or, they die through tragedy that's not maybe directly related to work, but when they're given their second chance, they're kind of like, you know what? Why was I a slave? Why was I wasting so much of my life for so little return? And, you now have these characters that are just trying to enjoy their life. And that is what the message of this book really is. And it works very, very well. And Asa's voice is she is just so warm and just tender in all the right ways. And because she has become this laid back witch, she really just doesn't get all that perturbed by things. She's just kind of cool. She's like, this is a pain, but yeah, all right, we'll deal with it. I just really liked her character for that. I liked that, she was willing to forgive things very quickly. She was willing to adapt and adopt people so quickly. And as I said, to me, it's like one of those series that I just think is going to be one of those pleasurable things that it's like, man, when I'm stressed out, or I've read like some particularly dark or dank kind of like light novels, this is the series that I'm going to run to. I'm going to be like, oh yes, there's another volume of Killing Slimes. I can just take a nice deep breath and feel all warm and fuzzy. And like I said, maybe that is a very emotional response to this book. If you want to tear it apart critically, you know what? Have at it. I'm not going to tell you that there's no plot holes. I'm not going to tell you that it is the most poetic and beautiful writing that has ever occurred in a light novel. I'm not. It is an emotional response that I had to this title that made me go, you know what? I love this book. And like I said, maybe it's because, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but man, I think I'm feverish. I'm like sweating buckets here. I'm obviously fighting a cold. You can tell from my voice, but yeah, like this is just one of those titles that I just had such an emotional response from, and it just gave me exactly what I wanted it to. And, like I said, even the artwork on the cover and the interior artwork, it's all the same thing. It's cute. It's not aggressive. It is, like just even looking at this cover just kind of makes me go, huh. And that's what this book is. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit off the beaten path and is just kind of a nice, relaxing thing to read that's not going to make you like tear your hair out or, you really just need something calming. This is a fantastic book for that. So those are my thoughts on volume number 1 of I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level. My next review is actually going to be on a Cross Infinite Worlds title. And it's a title that's been out for a little while, but I have to say I kind of hesitated to pick it up because I heard it was very long, and it is very long. But you know what? I have kept saying that I want to read Cross Infinite Worlds books, start getting into them and see what they're like, because they have been publishing books for a little while now. So I am going to finally bite the bullet and read the mammoth volume that is volume number 1 of Obsessions of an Otome Gamer. That's going to be my next review. And if you're brand new to the channel and you love light novels, you should consider subscribing. I do 2 to 3 reviews every week, as well as a weekly countdown of the top 10 best-selling light novels in Japan. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.